He's always honest about what he does. He's a very rare type of person that there needs to be more of.
You know, deep down in my heart, I always knew I'd meet somebody, just maybe not somebody as good as he's turned out to be.
I think he's got a hell of a work ethic, and I think that's part of his character.
I just thought he was honest, dependable, a man of his word.
TJ is one of only 2 accounts that I hold and monitor myself because he is such a pleasure to work with. He is a stand-up guy.
And he's always got a good sense of humor. He's never in a sour mood. People like that.
TJ's just an overall good guy, so I feel like he inspires people to be better people themselves.
He does great work, and so I wouldn't have him back if I didn't do a good job the first time.
My name is Travis Van Diver. I do flat roof work in the Green Valley, Sarita area. My slogan is, skilled roofers are not cheap, cheap roofers are not skilled. My Uncle Jim, he's told me through the years, he'd say, son, you gotta find a career you don't hate. You gotta find a career that's gonna be there for your working time. And you gotta get good at it. That way you're always gonna have a job. And if it's one you don't hate, you're gonna be able to deal with it. And flat roofing is what I found that does that. So I've been doing roofing for a long time with a guy named Bill Thrall, which I consider a great mentor. Bill was a great mentor to me. I'm crying because he passed away shortly ago, a little bit back, a few months. He got me started in the flat roofing, and I loved it. He was a general contractor in the area. I learned a lot from him, just about all kinds of house construction. And the flat roof work is what I really took into and have succeeded with. And I thank him. My clientele is 55 and older, and I like it. They're very nice. They don't have a whole lot of issues. They pay, which is always a bonus for anybody and everybody.
I'm the homeowner here at 236 North Camino del Vate in Green Valley. TJ was at the school that I used to work at, and I've known him ever since he was a little kid.
Yeah, over 35 years.
Yeah, over 35 years I've known TJ.
Would you recommend him to people?
I have in the past, and heck, he's starting to do everything here in this homeowner section.
I'm thinking it's probably about 12 years ago that we met TJ and had him give us an estimate on some roof work, and it was acceptable, so he went to work on the roof and did a fine job. And for me personally, I've used him ever since. TJ won't do a roof unless he does it the right way.
You have to.
I would recommend TJ for any type of roof job, any day of the week.
I met TJ in 2006, shortly after we had moved to Arizona from the East Coast. And I met him on a job. I feel I'm a pretty good judge of character, and I just got a good vibe from TJ and what he was doing and how he did it. And I just started referring him. Anyone that used to ask me about roof work, I'd just say, TJ is the guy you got to get. So I'd always refer him.
TJ I met about 3 years ago through a mutual customer. His work is outstanding from what I've heard from customers and from what I've known from him. So that's why I've kept him close to me, and that's why I still manage his account to this day.
Throughout my life, until just a year or two ago, I worked for Lori Jers, starting in 7th grade until, so we're talking 13 to 45. I worked for this lady.
I am Lori Jers, and I have lived here for 34 years in this same house.
She's kind of been like a mom to me over the years, another great mentor to me, not so much in work, but in life.
Well, I can't talk about Travis without talking about his family too, because he was around 14 years old and he had an older brother, and they lived in this neighborhood, on the other end of this neighborhood, but down there. So they were some of the first people I met. His mother was an avid horsewoman, and they had horses, I had horses. So we all started riding together, and we were friends. So I was really tight with his mother and his father, and with him as much as you can with a 14-year-old teenage boy.
When I first went over there, she needed the grass mowed. Now, you all fucking probably think of grass different than Lori. Most people mow their grass when it's here. This grass was as tall as I was, with a lawnmower, a push mower. I had to pick it up and over acreage. It would take me like a month to do a field. It was, I'm a little 100-pound guy, dude. I was so happy. I'd probably worked there 8 years or more. I don't know, doing that all the time. Because she didn't call you when it was down there, you could mow it. No, it's up here. It's dry and it's just dusty, and you're mowing and it's all, oh, it's horrible. You had to mask up and be itchy for the next day or two.
Travis was one of the big reasons that the place bloomed and got developed and got better and better. This Ramada right here, he built this. This whole little porch area here, it's wooden. It's sort of like you'd call it an Arizona room or a winter garden or something. He rebuilt all that. There's a freestanding little bunkhouse on the other side. He totally redid the inside of that. He put in this stonework right here, put in this freestanding barbecue. I know he's a roofer now, but he was just sort of a jack of all trades, man of all trades, tried everything. Yeah, this was amazing because he thought of it. Good girl, Nellie. You're being good. She is being good.
I spent a year there. 1 year, we did like $80,000 worth of work there. And for back then, for me, making freaking $5 an hour or $10 an hour, that was a lot of freaking money, you know. But I did like 80 grand worth of stuff at her. We spent like pretty much the whole year there. One section where her bedroom is, we got in there tearing the drywall out, and that was amazing because there was nails every inch, this far apart, on every piece of wood in this room. It took days to get the nails and the drywall off. And a friend of mine, Kenny Joe, he lived down the street. He knew that family, and they had a kid that was maybe autistic. At this time, nobody knew what autistic was, I don't think. Not as how they know now, but this kid had some issues. But he was real good. If you gave him something to do, he would do it. And he said, I bet you what happened is they put that kid in there with a box of nails and let him go to town. And I go, that's the only thing that would have any explanation of why that could have happened.
He can handle honesty. I've always felt like I could say anything I wanted to him, and vice versa, I would say too. We've had a lot of honest conversations, and you know, he's had his ups and downs over the years. There was a terrible car accident where a friend of his was killed. There was, you know, trouble with the law because of that.
Basically, a friend of mine got killed because of my drinking and driving. Is a younger person. It happened on August 8th, 1992. And we'd been out hanging around, partying, and we were heading back from Tucson. And basically I fell asleep and rolled the truck. It was an older truck, no seat belts. So he got ejected and died basically upon ejection. And the steering wheel held me in. And the next thing, I wake up in the hospital, and I looked around and I asked where Rick was. And Rick died. From the day of the accident on, for a year or two, I wanted to die. I wasn't going to kill myself, but I wanted to die. I didn't want to be alive. I wish Rick were alive and I were dead. I know for a year or two daily, I really prayed that lightning would kill me, or a truck would hit me, or a snake would fucking kill me. Oh, whatever, you know. I didn't see why I was here. Why Rick's gone. And I still don't have that realization. I guess doing a good job on a roof. I was thinking about it the other day, kind of. Maybe that's why I'm here. I don't know. At least it gives me something to think about. I don't know. But, yeah. It's been a long time. You don't ever get over anything like this. And I definitely haven't taken all the steps I need to help myself get over it. I've had a lot of anger and sadness. Mainly I focus on the anger. The anger makes it easier for me to deal with, to be angry than to be sad. We're going to where I had my car accident August 8th of 92, where a friend of mine, Rick Soto, was killed. Yeah, for years, well, a couple of years, whatever I was driving would shimmy right there.
Would it really? Oh, Jesus.
What do you think that shimmying was?
I don't know for sure. I think it was Rick saying something.
What goes through your mind?
A lot of things. Thoughts about how I took his life. Just all kinds of thoughts about what, I don't know, stuff he could have been doing in his world, having a family. Being around his family. Just said I'm sorry for this happening, for me doing it, me being the cause of it. I wish I could take it back. Because I was a drinker for a whole lot of my life, you know, before the thing. And I did have time off afterwards and whatnot, but I ended up drinking again, and a lot of it was trying to, I believe, just bury as much of what happened as I could, or to deaden the pain. But I can guarantee you, I know now that alcohol doesn't deaden it. We went to a Halloween party in October. Well, it was Halloween night of 2014, and I remember being a little belligerent and stuff, and then the next morning, I got to hear from the wife and kid more about how belligerent and whatnot I was, and that was a decision maker day right there. It was, I'm done. I didn't want to be that guy anymore. I really, for probably a year or two before I quit drinking, I was thinking to myself, and I asked my friends and family, and I'm like, what's fun? And a lot of them that drank would hold up a beer or their cocktail or whatever, and I'm like, no. I got to looking at it and myself too. I'm like, no, that's my habit. That's your habit. We're not 20 anymore like those freaking beer commercials where everybody's giggling and running off to have sex and shit. You know, we get drunk, go pass out, dude. This is a habit now. The hangovers, the this, the that, no, the puking, the not remembering, no, I don't miss that. I'm pretty happy about it.
We met around Easter of 2006, got engaged Father's Day of 2006, and got married Veterans Day of 2006. And I actually proposed to him. The night before Father's Day, we were laying around and he kind of made a comment, I don't know where to go from here in our relationship. And I left it at that. And I knew what he was hinting at, but so the next day, Haley wanted to get him something for Father's Day. And I went and bought a ring and stuck it in a pair of shorts. And when he went and got dressed, it was in his pocket, He came back out after taking a shower and he pulled me aside and said, "We need to talk." And he handed me the box back. And I was like, okay. And then my ring was actually in that box. So that's how we got engaged. We've had some rough patches, and the very beginning was pretty rough. We were newlyweds, supposed to be, wanting to spend time with each other. And he was more interested in spending time like at his friend Kenny's house or at his friend Gary's house, drinking all night. And I just sat here. So, it wasn't all blissful. I mean, now it's great. But that first year was very rough. He did stop drinking. So, things have gotten a lot better since then. He's a very good husband, great provider. As a father, he's very good on most things. He tells stories that probably shouldn't be told to teenage kids. That could, they could see, well, my dad did it, so I could do it. But as far as him, he has always made sure that we're taken care of.
I am Jayton Van Diver. I live in Mountain Home, Idaho currently. And then I work as a federal technician for the Guard. And I'm a track mechanic. It includes tanks, Bradleys, anything the military has with tracks, I work on. It was pretty awesome. We'd go out, do things. We traveled a lot of places, went to a lot of museums. So always learning, just spending time with my dad and enjoying being there. So my fondest memories are definitely like in Sandbro, because we've worked on them a little bit here and there. So helping get them ready to go was always super fun learning. And then going out on the sand rails, we've gone through Box Canyon, stuff like that. We've driven over the mountains, done overnight stay. We went to the lake, Patagonia, a lot. And, going tubing or just floating around on the pontoon boat. It was super, super fun and nice. Those are probably some of the best times I've spent with him. One of the best lessons I've learned from my dad. I want to say work ethic. Just how to work hard. Basically, when something needs to be done, it's time to go. You do everything. You work and you work and you work until it's done. And he himself, he works his ass off. He doesn't stop working. He's a very just busy type of personality. He's always moving. And so just trying to follow that and then him teaching me that, it's a lot of, when it comes down to the wire, he taught me how to work. And that's probably one of the best things that I've had in life.
What I really like about any and all of it is everybody that comes in here finds something that brings back a memory to them. Whether it's a little freaking brass pot or a tool or a pitcher. It's pretty cool because everybody finds something that whether they're good memories, some are bad memories for people, but you know, there's something, you know, there's a lot to look at.
This is, I don't know, it's the metal part of a piano, I guess. A guy, he had it and he stripped some stuff out of it for scrap, and he wasn't able to handle this because it's pretty heavy, so he wanted me to haul it out. And I brought it home and hung it in the tree just for something to look at, I guess. Artwork, I don't know.
If I inherit the compound, so if I inherit that, depending on where life is and how it is, my main goal is to be able to move everything around and get it set up to where it's basically just a museum, a memorial to him. He's always about the story.
That stove was actually made in like 1916, Serrano. When I first seen it, I thought it was a replica.
Every tool he has, everything he's after, he always has a story to go with it. And so when it comes to that point, I want to get the story behind everything. I want to have that, be able to put it into words, put it up on the shelf, have people be able to walk through and look at that weird random tool that my dad collected and have a blurb underneath it about what it is, what it was used for, and where it came from. Because that's his whole thing with everything on that property. Everything has a story. And that's how he is, so that would be his story. Things that makes me the most proud about my dad is just who he is to himself, who he is to the family, and who he is to the community.
Well, I want to give back to the community. I've worked here my whole life, and I want to give back some because they've fed myself and my family, and so I think it's important. My supplier, David, over at Tucson Rubberized Coatings, he's going to supply materials, and I'm going to supply the labor, and we're planning to do a roof in the Green Valley community pro bono for somebody in need. It does end up that I end up with a lot of people that have, you know, a lot of bad history, you know. They're good workers, good people if, you know, you give them a better path kind of idea.
I was definitely in a tough spot and I definitely needed a job, and TJ definitely accommodated that.
But Tyler, he's got, he was in a car wreck, oh gosh, a year and a half or so back, and he was drinking and driving, and he's got a case going on right now with that. But we got him where he ain't drinking, and that's benefited me and my company quite a bit because he's a lot more productive. He seems happier in life.
He expects you to go above and beyond, so I guess, yes, he challenges you to go to the next level.
You know, like I said, I've had my own experiences in life with the legal system that you know, are pretty crushing on a person, actually. You know, Tyler's in a similar situation, car wreck. He hurt somebody, I killed somebody. With having a criminal background, it'd be hard to get a good job at a good company because you got a felony, then nobody wants you around kind of idea. So I'm hoping, you know, whatever happens with Ty, if he continues to be the person he is around me, he'll always have a job. And it might not be $100,000 a year job, but hopefully at some point maybe it could be, you know. But it's way better than the $15,000 or $20,000 a year jobs that most people in this situation are going to end up with.
Easy out here in southern Arizona to find people that just don't do what they say they're going to do. TJ's not one of them. If he says he's going to do something, he does it, and he does it right, or he won't do it at all.
No, he'll talk to you and tell you honestly what needs to be done, and you know, he gives you a price and he usually sticks to that price. He doesn't, you know, go up or down like some contractors would.
All I can say, TJ, is my roof's still in good shape. Thank you very much.
It sounds corny, but honestly, the thing I love most about the job is TJ. Like, I don't know.
I feel me and TJ have a pretty great relationship, actually.
I'm just so proud of him for wanting to do this and doing this, to talk about all these kind of things at once. Really takes a big person, and so what I'm seeing is he's even a bigger person than I realized. And how wonderful is that?
I mean, I don't tell him enough how much I appreciate him. Thank you for working and teaching me how to work. Thank you for putting so much time and effort into me, even though I didn't know I deserve it. If there's anything I'd change about my dad, absolutely nothing. There isn't anything. Couldn't find a single thing that he could change to be better.
Biggest lesson that I feel I've learned is kind of will go along with what I've been saying is be truthful. Number one is to be truthful to others. It's hard to be truthful to yourself. You know, we all know that. But be truthful to others. That way they can trust you. And that because without trust, life's a lot easier. You know, if somebody trusts you, it's his life's a lot easier. And so I want to, especially with my customer, I mean, well, with everybody, you know, relationships, you always got a whole lot of separate issues, but be truthful and good things come from that. Whenever I've tried to lie or do stuff, you know, it comes back and kicks you in the ass. Life's got a lot of karma in it, you know. So the better you are, and the easiest thing for me is with being truthful and honest is I ain't got to go back and fucking cover nothing up.